There's one stock we decided to focus on today, and that is Century. And the reason for that is that we're seeing influential brokerage firm CLSA deciding to initiate coverage with a buy rating. We've been seeing a buzz in all the companies that are involved with building materials, the impact that GST has had, how they're tackling higher costs, etc. So we thought let's get the management on board to discuss all of that. So we've got Keshav, Bhajanka, the director at Century Plyboards, joining us from Kolkata. Hi Keshav, thanks so much for joining us here on ET Now. You've been consistently saying you're going to make a transition towards being a complete interior infrastructure solutions provider. My first question to you is that at a time, I believe we have lost the phone line with Keshav, perils of live television. I guess we had him on a bad network, so we'll try and regain contact with him. So let's just return to the markets and tell you about some of the buzzing stocks. Watch out for Sun TV. That's up by about 10.5% in trade. Dr. Reddy's, that's up nearly 8% thanks to regulatory overhangs being lifted on the stock to do with one of its popular drugs in the United States. Relcap, you're seeing that trade at around 58 rupees 70 paise a share, levels we've not seen since December of 2009. Ashok Leyland up by about 4.5%, followed by the likes of Exide, ICICI Pru. Bajaj Auto, very muted performance in August, but still up by about 3.5% in trade. On the flip side, TCS languishing in the red, down by about 2%, followed by HPCL, IOC, Idea Cellular. So those are some of the movers and shakers in trade today. I believe we are being rejoined on the phone line with Century, if my voice is audible to Keshav. Hi Keshav, if you can hear me.
Hi.
This is Nayantara. We decided to get you on the channel as influential brokerage firm CLSA has decided to initiate coverage of the company with a buy rating. So we said let's figure out what it is that has impressed CLSA as well. My first question to you, you've been consistently saying you're going to concentrate on becoming a complete interior, a focused company. At a time where you have seen the property market being impacted so badly, no signs of a recovery, the residential at least, what does it mean for a company like yours? I would imagine, people are not doing that much interiors.
You see, what happens is that you speak about the residential market, a lot of times people speak about new construction. When it comes to plywood or MDF or laminates, new construction is not really a target segment. Our target segment is an end consumer who's purchasing a flat. I think in last quarter, the purchase of flats has increased, and as such, I think our customer base is growing, if not stable.
Okay, so you're saying that there are end users in the market. I don't know if the builders would agree with you, but perhaps people are also doing renovation, etc. Now let's just talk about life post GST. What does the GST mean for a company like Century Ply?
See, as of now, I don't think the full benefits of GST have been realized. The primary reason behind this is that the EE-way bill is not in place. And because the state borders have been removed, most unorganized sector players now have the additional advantage of sending material without actually having to bill anything at all. So I think once the EE-way bill comes into place, the true effect of GST will be felt. For industries such as ours, where 70% of the total market is unorganized, I think the benefit will be tremendous. And one of the reasons behind, or the primary reason behind the huge unorganized sector is tax arbitrage that these small players have. And post GST, I think that tax arbitrage is going to be removed, and it is going to drastically increase market share for companies such as ourselves.
It's Karunya here from the Mumbai studios, and while GST is a new phenomenon, let's talk about something that's been consistent. The material prices have been seeing an upward trend, and now we understand that you pass through for you happens with a lag. Could there be a pressure on your margins because of that going ahead?
You see, if you look at the last quarter, raw material prices did increase, and while the lag for us normally is not in excess of a couple of months, this time, owing to the changes that have been caused by GST and the fact that the market is already in a very uncertain position, we have decided to delay the price increase. As such, yes, in the short term, maybe in the next quarter or two, there is likely to be a slight pressure on our margins.
So how much of a pressure on your margins are you expecting, Keshav? If you could give us an update on that. Also, we have been talking about demonetization this entire week. You've talked about the unorganized sector. I would imagine that is a sector that is okay in dealing with cash. How did life change for you post demonetization? Have you benefited from it? So if you could answer both these questions, please.
Okay, post demonetization, we definitely benefited. I think last year, Q3 was our best quarter for the entire year, and I think the unorganized players did feel a massive squeeze. And as such, yes, we did see substantial upturn in volumes. Your second question was?
Okay, Mr. Bhajanka, thanks a lot for joining in and giving us a sense of what's going on in your company and what kind of an impact have you seen following the GST rollout. Okay, then moving away from that, back to markets, we have Vivek Mahajan, the head of research from Aditya Birla Money, joining us on the show. Hi Vivek, thanks a lot for taking time out and speaking.